do kind of remember sneaking to the television late at night, putting it on, check out some of these episodes as a very small child, and I can still recall going through this box set. I can recall certain images and things that happened. So yes, I was scared as a child by this series. This is a tasty little series. Obviously, it's the same people that were involved in the Hammer movies, but this here is their television version, and this is actually so much better than I was expecting it. I thought, okay, Hammer horror, but on television, will it be as good as the films were? I was actually genuinely surprised. I don't remember this actually been on television. This only run for one. This only ran for one season in 1980. I was born in 79, so I was only fresh whenever this here originally came out. But I can remember as a young child this been on reruns late at night, and it was always one of these things where I was curious to check it out. And I do kind of remember sneaking to the television late at night, putting it on, check out some of these episodes as a very small child, and I can still recall going through this box set. I can recall certain images and things that happened. So yes, I was scared as a child by this series. But I was looking on IMDb there just for a little bit of a refresher on the first episode, because it has been quite a while since I watched the first episode of this again, and I just wanted to check up to see what IMDb said on episode 1, which is why I haven't labelled this this episode of the show as in, episode 1, episode 2, whatever, because on IMDb it actually is listing the episodes in a completely different order than what the box set does. So I'm going to go with this one. Obviously the box set should have better details than IMDb, though I am very surprised at IMDb having the listings of the series completely in the wrong order. And in saying that, I have noticed the same about season 1 of Transformers from 83. IMDb has got the listings mixed up in that as well. But I digress. The first episode we're going to review in the Hammer House of Horror is called The House That Bled to Death. Now this here is a very, very strong opening to the series, and which another reason why I want to go with the box set listings instead of the IMDb listings. Very, very good. It opens up this old man and woman sitting in the kitchen, and the husband makes her a cup of tea and gives it to her. The music's kind of building up, as in something's not right here. She starts to choke. He's obviously poisoned the tea. He doesn't drink his cup, and she's trying to reach for her pills. She passes out and falls onto the floor. He's got these two like daggers, like bent daggers, hanging in the kitchen wall. He lifts that up, lifts that there, and starts sharpening the blade. And then we go on to the open music that we get for each episode. And as the episode itself opens up, the same house has got new residents moving in, who are William and Emma Peters. They've bought the house, it's in bad condition, and they're going to fix it up, move in, and they strike up a friendship with their neighbours, and Jean George Evans. Jean comes across, introduces herself as a neighbour, and comes in, makes a cup of tea, just the usual, get to know the neighbours sort of a setup. So she's there. The couple that's moved in has got a small daughter called Sophie, and they're having a cup of tea, and the husband discovers one of the bent daggers that we seen at the beginning of the episode in a cupboard, and straight away the neighbour realises something's not right here, though she doesn't give it away to the couple. But later on she says to her husband that this knife showed up, and I thought the police had taken everything away from the crime scene. So we realise that the neighbours know more than what they're letting on, and throughout the episode more and more strange things start to happen in the house. The cat gets killed at one point, pet cat. There's a sequence in the episode. I don't want to give too much away about this episode in particular because it's very good. Basically, it's the idea of the house is manifesting a lot of things that happened from this murder we see at the beginning of the episode. And, you're thinking, okay, it's the spirit of the woman that was killed, or it could be, we don't actually ever find out properly what happened. The old guy that killed her at the start, we don't know if at this point he's dead. We don't know if it could be his angry spirit in the house or the spirit of the old woman. So there's a lot of nice misdirection in this episode, I have to say. It was one of these endings to this episode that I didn't see coming. They did it very well. There's an old guy turns up, and he's kind of like the sort of character this, and I'm going to help you get out of this sort of a thing. And you think he's kind of sets him up as being like a spiritualist sort of a guy, but by the end of the episode we discover what is actually going on. And I was going to say something there, but it will completely destroy this episode for you. There is a few sequences in the the episode where, excuse me, my sinuses are blocking up again. There's a few parts throughout the episode where things are happening within the house. There's the daughter, there's the couple, small daughter. She's only 6, maybe 7 when all this is taking place. And I remember thinking to myself at one point, there's a birthday party in one of the sequences. There's like 5 or 6 other similar aged kids in the kitchen. They're all sitting having a birthday dinner, and they've got their birthday cake and they've got their treats, cakes, all that good stuff. And you can hear this rumbling starting to happen throughout the house. And the husband, the father of the kid, goes upstairs to try and get the water sorted. There's a problem keeping the water running in the house, and then the pipes start to rattle and vibrate and whatnot. He disappears off to sort that out. And one of the pipes across the roof of the kitchen dining room area breaks open, and blood squirts out into the middle of this kids' party, and everybody gets covered in blood and whatnot. And I remember thinking to myself during the episode itself, I was like, some of these kids they've been scarred for life making this. And that actually does play on to the end to the episode. So I did say, and that's probably spoiled it for you completely, it's a good episode. It's really, really good. Some really great misdirection in the episode. But once you see the episode, see what the ending of it is. If you go back again on the second visit to this episode, watching it, knowing how it was going to end, there's a lot of stuff throughout the episode. It's just like, oh my gosh, this was so obvious the whole way through this where they were going to go with this. But the characters, their acting. Let me get you some of the names of the cast. And here we have Nicholas Ball, Rachel Davis, Brian Croher. Sorry, my phone probably blew your speakers clean out. Patricia Maynard, Milton Johns, Emma Ridley, Joanna White, George Tovey. Yes, this is such a great opener to the Hammer House of Horror, and so good. Again, great misdirection. You may see the end coming, you may not see the end coming. Usually I'm about 10 steps ahead of these things, but this successfully got me to look at the left hand and didn't know what the right hand was actually doing. I applaud this episode so much. It's worth checking out. This box set in general, it's only like 13 episodes long, 4 discs worth, 11 hours. That's worth watching. It really is. So go check it out.